This movie made me play the game. This is one of those movies which are really hard to rate. It's kinda confusing. Should I go from the game relevance angle or just treat it as a regular movie? Those two paths would bring different results. I'm not even gonna waste our time on the plot cause only one thing matters is that the heroes get into the Minecraft world and everything else is just a decoration around the idea. Let's move straight to the review. I had never played Minecraft before, although I had heard about it as this game was very popular a long time ago, and probably most of you have heard of it or played it. For me, it was a discovery, and I can say that at first it was very difficult to understand what was happening and how to survive, but despite everything, it was a very interesting experience. I really liked building, and as a noob, I did use YouTube tutorials and did it in survival mode, not creative. It was very funny. I lost all of the hearts several times, but it was fun. I had high expectations for the film, but it didn't live up to them. I want to share two experiences about the movie and talk about these two aspects separately. The first part is that the game aspect and references, and how the world was depicted. I have no complaints about the graphics or adaptation of the game characters. The only thing is that despite the fact that the green screen is very good, there is still a feeling of alienation. When you look at the characters, it seems that they should not be here in this place, and this slightly pulls the viewer out of the effect of immersion in the film and its ideas. Since I'm a new player, I probably did not catch some references and Easter eggs. But you have probably already heard about the tribute to the famous YouTuber, as well as all sorts of memes and features of the game. It was fun. Even a new player could track and understand a lot. That is, we can say that the fan service of the film was good. They showed the game in a cool way, showcased it to those who didn't know about it, reminded those who haven't played for a long time. They caused a pleasant feeling in general. I personally have no complaints about that. If you are an experienced player and know a lot and have already completed it more than once and you have something to add, please do not hesitate and do so in the comments. I will be very interested in reading it. I think many will too. But regarding the second part of this film, I have a big question. I mean the cinematic and plot components, because they were almost absent. The plot is very simple, poorly composed, and the storytelling itself is very choppy. It felt inorganic. The beginning of the film was cool, but then the story just started to come together from some pieces that were not fully revealed. For example, the meeting of the main characters is drawn out. It is completely unclear how, as if it was just a deliberate gluing of the characters together, without any special meaning. They all suddenly came together and began their journey in Minecraft. It looked very strange and alien. On the other hand, the humor is very simple and seems to be aimed at children, not even teenagers. On the other hand, there are a lot of jokes that appeal to adults, and some of which adults should laugh at. That is, the film seemed to want to capture all possible audiences, but failed. I watched it and I did not feel any particular pleasure or interest, just watch it because I had already started. If I watched this movie at home, I wouldn't have finished it. If we're talking about games, we can remember, for example, the adaptation of Assassin's Creed with Michael Fassbender. In my opinion, it was a great movie. I can't say how I would rate it now, because I watched it a long time ago, but I liked it then. If we choose the game component as a rating measure, and the immersion of the character from the real world into the game world, Jumanji was a great movie. Yes, with its pros and cons, but overall the movie is very well constructed and interestingly told. I would watch its sequels with pleasure. Another movie that I would like to mention in this sense is Ready Player One. It was a very cool movie, especially with the game part. The creation of the world, the game, and real parts of the character's life were embodied in a great way. Another film that had a live-action component was the film Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, which was also made very funny and had a great plot. It has an interesting, fun plot that is memorable, great actors, good morals, and good ending. Everything about it was cool. I really liked it. I watched it several times. That is, we have examples of really cool movies on the game theme, even if they're not adaptations. But if we're talking about the Minecraft again, it was the adaptation part of the movie that was good. But the cinematic part really sagged. Jack Black is great, very positive actor. He always attracts attention. I didn't like Jason Momoa's character though. He was quite strange. Everyone else's acting was mid-level, nothing to really talk about it. There was the strangest picture of characters who don't get along with each other, as if it was just a mix of different people just so they could be there. On the other hand, the film was not long enough and at the same time drawn out. On the other hand, they wanted to show a lot of elements because Minecraft is a very big game that has been around for 15 years and it's valid point to showcase a lot to attract new players. But at the same time, there was no disclosure of characters and storylines. Everything was very drawn out, very clumsily written, as if it was really written by AI, without supervision and editing. As I believe that this film was made solely to advertise the game and attract new players. It did that. Even the trailer did that. That would be enough, because there are enough people who were interested in it. They tried this game and went on with their lives. This part will certainly work to promote the game. At the same time, as a film, this product has no value. I would say that you can basically watch this film in the cinema if you really want to. You have a cinema pass or something. If you definitely won't regret the money you spend on it. But if you're choosing between films to go to and which not to, then this is definitely not the film that is worth spending money on. And maybe even time. If you watch it on streaming at home, then it still makes some sense. You could turn it off at any time, but if going to the cinema is quite difficult and inconvenient, then I wouldn't do that. If I were to rate this movie on a 10-point scale, I would say that it's 6 out of 10 maximum, and that's just because of how the Minecraft world itself was shown. It was cute. The music, the graphics, and everything was cool, but the execution of this movie could have been much better. People are sharing ideas about how this movie could have been made better. For example, making it fully animated. That's also a good idea, but it is what it is. There is a really cool shorts video from Squared Media, the remake of the trailer. Here you see a little part of it, and I left a link for you in the description box. Super cool. I would watch this version of the movie. This movie could use a lot of ideas and work. I really hope that this wasn't a script written by the artificial intelligence, because if it is, let's be honest, this movie will make money purely because of the well-known title. Then it's really gonna be sad, as we're moving into the era of movies that have no soul. It's like we already don't have a ton of bad movies. Watch only good movies, those which immerse you in your favorite world.
Oh no, not again! Oh my god, are you alright? Your head is huge.
Chicken jockey!